What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, you guys. It is the 16th day of September, and here we are. We got about 5 days, 8 hours left in the week here. Moving up a little bit this week. Had a rough start, right? Started off to the downside, but now you're coming back up. I think that's good. You want to see the week start off on a down note and then finish on a strong note. That's actually really good. We do have the FOMC meeting tomorrow, at 2 o'clock Eastern time. So sometime later in the day, tomorrow the 17th, we should have most of the day. Maybe tomorrow we start the day with a pump, and then we come down and we close the day with a little bit of a dump after the FOMC meeting. That's my expectation. I think that we will pump into the news and sell out of it, if that makes sense, because it's going to be good news. The cutting of interest rates will likely promote growth over the coming weeks and months, but in the short term, that excitement might have people FOMOing in and buying ahead of time, thinking they know something special, when the reality is the people who bought ahead of time already did that. They bought a couple weeks ago, right, in anticipation of this. So it's not that it's priced in necessarily. It will continue to get priced in, but momentarily, yes. I think this FOMC meeting is priced in. I heard my daughter making noises, but at first I thought she was like crying, but I think she was just having fun. Something I was looking at, and I'm sure a lot of you are aware of this, but Ripple Swell is happening in November. It happens in the very early part of November, November 4th of this year, okay? And what a perfect time frame that is. What an absolutely perfect time frame that is, because I am expecting that crypto, Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, all of it, right? I'm expecting that we're going to be pumping between now, the end of the month of September, and going into the end of October. Really between now and the end of 2025, and even going into the early parts of 2026. It's not going to be a nonstop party train to the upside, but I am expecting a lot of life to come into the markets between now and then. Specifically, I think the next stopping point is going to be sometime in November. I think the end of October will mark our next kind of high point in the markets. We'll consolidate going into November, and then maybe the end of November going into December will rally going into the end of the year and even into January is what my thoughts are. Ripple having this Ripple Swell on November 4th, what a perfect time to, as we were just talking about with the FOMC meeting, buy ahead of time of what is likely going to be perceived as a bullish event, right? There's going to be some hot topics talked about with Ripple. In fact, I'm kind of curious, when was the last Ripple Swell? When was the last Ripple Swell event? I don't know. Oh, I typed in even. I meant event, including results for, okay, good. The most recent Ripple Swell 2024 held in Singapore, October 24th and 25th. Let's just see what happened on October 24th and October 25th. You wouldn't say that October 24th and October 25th, actually that was the week that we were at the low point here, right? That was the week we were literally at the low point, but then we began to grow afterwards, okay? That doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to get that same result now. I don't think we're going to be at the low point there, right? We'd been consolidating for a while, and then we ripped. We've been consolidating for a while now. I highly doubt that we're going to continue to consolidate going into October, but nevertheless, something around this time, around that swell event last time, we had a very bullish result afterwards. What if that's left a bullish taste in people's mouth and they think, oh, we're going to pump afterwards, or we're going to pump because of this event? And obviously this pump was because of the announcement that Ripple is part of the United States Crypto Strategic Reserve. But I'm just saying, people might connect the dots from the last event and buy ahead of time, right? Typically, you buy the hype, you sell the news. Maybe it's a big deal, maybe it's not a big deal, but just what a perfect thing. I could see XRP really rallying going into the end of October, and everybody's like, oh, you think it's good now? Just wait until the big news comes out at the Ripple Swell event. I bet that they're going to hype it up dramatically, and then the event happens. It's the end of October, it's the beginning of November, and that's whenever you tip off, and then you start to consolidate again. I don't think you're going to consolidate for this long. I think this is an abnormally long phase of consolidation after such a move like this, but I do believe that you'll consolidate to some degree, maybe for 4 weeks, maybe for 6 weeks. Nothing too crazy, but a little bit of consolidation. Just a thought. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't happen, but just a thought there. Right? XRP is kind of a different beast now than it's been for the past couple of cycles, right? There's, oops, I didn't mean to do that. I don't know if you guys could see that pop out or not, but it was like a news pop out. There's no SEC lawsuit. It's proven itself over, through the test of time, right? Even though you had a lower high last cycle, that did not mean that you were dead in the water. That didn't mean you were a forgotten project, right? You've continued to build. You're now a crypto strategic. You're now a part of the crypto strategic reserve of the United States, right? And you're probably not just probably, definitely a reserve when it comes to XRP treasuries, different stocks and companies, institutions acquiring XRP. There's donations all the time. They're not donations, sorry, investments that are happening all the time through XRP Ledger and through that ecosystem. I mean, XRP Ledger, you guys, is a very, I think, prominent aspect of what is going to drive institutional adoption in XRP, right? Like it really is. And people don't talk about it enough. Or maybe people in the XRP army, you guys might talk about it all the time, but most people don't talk about it enough. XRP Ledger is, I think, going to be instrumental in the overall value of this thing, right? Beyond the fact that you have strategic reserve status, whatever. Here we are at $3.03, doing a whole lot of talking so far. It is the 16th. I do believe that we have higher to go. I think that, again, with tomorrow's meeting, we should see some volatility. So being that the meeting kind of happens at the end of the day, because it's 2 o'clock Eastern time, from what I remember, from what I looked up there. Let's just double check here. Let's go Super Grok. When is the FOMC meeting / announcement? Is that right? Tomorrow. Yeah. The FOMC. Come on now. 2 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, I thought so. So 2 p.m. Eastern time, just to put it in perspective, right? It's oh, I added 2 hours. 2 p.m. Eastern time would actually take away 2 hours. But still, 2 p.m. Eastern time would be what? That'd be 2 hours from now. 2 hours from now, like what we're doing here. So on this hour, it's the 16th hour. It'd be the 18th hour of the day. So still the end of the day tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if between now and then we saw a little bit of a rally overall in the markets. Maybe we just move sideways. Maybe we hold our breath and we wait for the announcement. There's anticipation. People are waiting to see what happens. They're not sure what's going to happen. So then once the announcement happens, I am personally expecting that we shake out a little bit, that we drop. I think the interest rates come in. Everybody's going to anticipate it to be bullish, and it is a bullish thing, and it'll leave people confused and emotional whenever we drop after the announcement happens. That's kind of my expectation. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe nothing will happen at all. Maybe we'll pump going into it, and that's fine. But the main essence of what I'm trying to discuss here is not necessarily a prediction of the price, but more of a prediction of emotions. I don't want people to be too excited one way or another, too depressed one way or another, depending on what the price does, right? Just buy and hold. And regardless of what happens tomorrow, and even between now and the end of the week, just continue to buy and hold. Things are going to be fine, and we're going to rally. It's going to be great. It's going to be a good time. $3.03 right now. 38 minutes left in this 1 hour time frame. Again, we're going to rally by the end of October. I really do think that we'll be, if we're not at $13 to $16 by the end of October, then certainly I would expect that we're there by the end of the year, and we would be at dramatically higher prices than we are now by the end of October. Absolutely. Something that's like above $6 by the end of October at the very, very least, bare minimum. But I would think we're going to be higher. This thing moves very, very fast. XRP 1 hour time frame, a little bit bearish right now, honestly. Overall kind of bearish. You're in a bullish posturing here. Stochastics are in a bullish posturing. The MACD is moving up as well. There's more bullishness than bearishness, but the RSI overall is a little bearish. Yeah, you probably move up. If you're going to find resistance here, you would have done it already. I think that was your attempt, but all you did was just found support twice at prior resistance there. You're going to move up. Where are you going to move to? Maybe $3.10, $3.11. something in that area, maybe 316 at the highest. And then that'll be, again, going into the end of tomorrow that you should be up there, right? You might make a move similar to this, right? Something like that. Maybe it's not exactly like that. You make a move up, consolidate, whatever, and then you continue to rally, however it looks, whatever. And then from that point, we might see a correction. Come back down, you'll find a higher low. I don't think that XRP goes below this low. I think that is the higher low, and I don't think that you go below there. But anything can happen, and even if you do, that's totally fine. We can actually talk about that real quick. Let's talk about what it would mean to go below this low. Well, if we take this low here from the 1st of September to the high that we had on the 13th, not but 3 days ago, if we were to go lower, it's very, very likely that we'd find support at $2.87, $2 and what is that, 84 cents, something in this area here. We'd find support down there, okay? very, very likely that we'd find support down there. So we can move up a little bit. We can move down a little bit more. It's okay. Again, I don't think we're going to go below this low. I don't think that we are. I think that we're going to hold that low as support. But I do believe that between today and tomorrow, we will see a little bit of a shakeout. We'll probably form a higher low in respect to this. Perhaps when we form our higher low, whenever we come back down, we'd find support at $3. But again, this is all assuming that after the meeting, after the announcement, that we're going to drop. Maybe we don't. Maybe we just continue to rally. And if we do, I mean, things could be really bullish, you guys. Understand that while I am sticking with my call that we're going to see a little volatility tomorrow, we're going to pump going into the announcement, and then we're going to dump out of it. I could be wrong. So much so that what happens is we just rally, like we rally super hard across the board. Tomorrow could be a really big day. Tomorrow and the next day, this week could be a huge week. I'm not expecting that personally, but I'm definitely not making plays. I'm not planning on going short or selling or waiting to buy. I'm just more addressing this as like something to prepare people for their emotions, right? People get weird sometimes whenever a bullishly perceived outcome results in, or event results in a bearishly perceived outcome, right? It doesn't matter if we're finding a higher low. Higher lows are good. And even here, even if we went to a lower low than this, it's still a higher low than this overall. But again, the lowest I could see us going would be 284 to 287, 288, something like that. I don't personally think we get down there. I don't believe that we break below this low at all. And I am expecting that we go up to about $3.10 or a little bit more than that. Going into the meeting tomorrow. The rest of the week should be stagnant or a little volatile, maybe continue to consolidate, and then going into the end of the month, I very much would expect that XRP is going to break out of this downtrend overall. We're going to break out, we're going to be breaking free, and you're either going to be at new all-time highs or very near new all-time highs by the end of September, okay? Ultimately erupting to fantastically higher prices going into October and ending October, ending the year with a very bullish note as well. If anybody's thinking this is a double top, you clearly don't know how double tops work, because if it were a double top, man, you are not, your double top's not double topping. That's for damn sure. You're looking more like you're ready to go. This is more of like a bull flag is what this is. Like it's like a bull flag outside of another bull flag, you know what I mean? And you've got a lot of pent up aggression, man. It's not just here that this aggression is pent up. It's all of this. It's all of this, man. And you can clearly see, if we think logically, here, rejection. Here, rejection. Here, affection. We're showing some affection in this area. You get enough affection, you might just get penetration and follow through to the glorious, glorious upside that inevitably will be, I think, a $40 to $70 price by the end of this cycle. But time will tell. We'll see how it goes. I got nothing else for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And if you think $40 to $70 is crazy, let me just tell you what's real crazy. What's crazy is that this consolidation phase lasted for years. Multiple bear markets and bull markets. We lasted from 2017 until 2015. 2017, we didn't go back in time. 2025. 8 years. Okay? What would be crazy is if this was our reaction out of it. XRP tops at 850. What would be crazy, in my opinion, is if this is our reaction out of it. We stop here. We've got a massive consolidation phase here, you guys. Massive. You're going to get a massive move. I mean, pessimistic, $20. Sure, let's stop at 20. But what, that you spent all this time consolidating to get this? That's it? Just this little bit right here. That's it. You spent all this time doing this. It's not even the width of the pattern itself. And that's what you get? Okay, cool. XRP stops at $24. I have a feeling most people holding XRP are not going to be upset with that. But it likely goes dramatically higher. It likely goes double that or even quadruple that by the end of the cycle. I'm telling you. And logically speaking, something big is brewing here. Big things have happened this cycle already from a fundamental perspective. And I would not be surprised at all if some big things were going to be announced during the Swell conference as well in New York on the 4th of November. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.